Broadcasting live from the Wandering Fumarole on the plain of Zendikar, this is Tap Tap Concede.
Can we ghost ride this thing?
Yeah, we should ghost ride this whip.
There's only enough room if it's a 1-4.
Yeah.
If it switches to a 4-1, we'll all tumble off the back.
You shift it into aggro gear and everybody falls off.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically like
Hey everybody, Graham here,
Cameron here.
Alex over here.
and we are going to be talking about some more Shadows over Innistrad spoilers. Very excited about.
So pumped.
Yeah, like everything
I'll
they
get to
reveal
that,
about the
but-
setting about the set makes me happy.
There's some new ones that obviously have been spoiled since we spoke to you last, and Alex is going to give a little perspective on at least one of the ones we talked about last time,
Holy.
which he's really excited
There's so many. Like, I'm real pumped for this set for Canadian Highlander because there's so many playables that have already been spoiled. And we're like a third through spoiler season.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
And it's already just like, I want that and that and that and two of these and this. I mean, it's just, playables everywhere.
But first, let us crack a pack. Cameron, you want to give that a roll?
All right.
Hey,
Big money rustlers.
And
where's it going?
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, Betrayers of Kamigawa.
Ooh.
Oh, here you go. Thank you.
Well,
So
I'll need this for.
are
this
we on
stuff.
the is this the GT lottery?
Betrayers? Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh.
Because it was Champions,
Champions,
Betrayers, and
Saviors.
Saviors.
Yeah.
All right.
This was given to us by Christian, a.k.a. IMAT, whose cube we drafted and was awesome.
Yeah.
One of our Kickstarter executive producers. Thank you so much, Christian.
I'm trying to think of the other cards that are sort of like little chase utilities, but we'll find out.
It sure isn't this one.
Oh,
Our
what is
first
it?
card is Vital Surge. And he is. He is vital. But in this case, 1 and a green for an instant Arcane. You gain 3 life. But you can splice onto Arcane for another 1 and a green.
This
So-
is a weird mechanic where,
Yeah.
like, a lot of the spells, if you cast one spell, you could attach the effect of another spell.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the way that this worked was splice onto Arcane means if you cast an Arcane spell, because it has to start with an Arcane spell, and you have a card in your hand that says splice onto Arcane, you can pay the splice cost, reveal it from your hand, and then you add that effect to the other spell.
Without expending the card.
Without expanding the card. But what that means is that it's not like you're casting both spells, you're adding the effect to the other spell. So if the other spell gets countered, everything gets countered.
Yeah.
But you don't lose the second card.
Yeah.
Like they,
So if you keep casting arcane spells and you have a spare 1 and a green, you can keep gaining 3 life and keep this in your hand. But this is like the
not
least
good.
exciting splice spell in the set.
yeah, like this was, I think, like they had tried something similar in the previous block to this with the Azorius mechanic Forecast,
Oh yeah, forecast.
where you
was
could
weird.
reveal it from your hand without
There's like
expending the
one
card.
card in that cycle that's almost good. It's the flyer, like Pride of the Clouds.
Oh yeah,
Right.
But it was just too much mana. It was a cool idea.
yeah.
All right.
Because, it was like reveal a card, do a thing.
Maybe they'll try to revisit this mechanic
maybe.
sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Magic card or metal band, it's Crawling Filth.
They're kind of they're like a mega dank, sludgy,
Yeah.
yeah,
really
southern metal.
Crunchy guitars.
Yeah.
2/2 Spirit with Fear, which of course is sort of proto Intimidate. It's can only be blocked.
6 mana.
Fear is specifically artifact creatures and black creatures.
Yeah, this
so it
is
can only be blocked by black creatures and artifact creatures.
Yeah, this is before they came up with Intimidate, which is the same mechanic but a little more flexible and a little more clear.
Yeah.
Intimidate is artifact creature, or Intimidate is colorless creatures or creatures of the same color,
Can
and
block it.
Fear is just black,
Yeah.
and only black creatures had it typically. It, as Alex said, it is 5 and a black, so
What do you
6
get?
mana for a 2/2 with evasion. That's, I mean, a 2/2 with evasion is good, but that's pretty high.
Yeah,
What else does
I
it
want
have?
I want this to vindicate when it enters the battlefield.
It's
I
got
got bad news for you.
It's got Soul Shift 5.
What?
Now, Soul Shift is pretty cool. I don't know if this is worth it, but what Soul Shift means is when this is put into a graveyard from play, you may return target spirit card with converted mana cost equal to the Soul Shift number or less from your graveyard to your hand. So
To your hand, and not even into play?
no. So when this dies,
man.
you get back a 5 CMC or less spirit. But the thing is, you could drill through stuff, right? Because you could get a 5 CMC spirit that had Soul Shift 4, and then a 4 CMC spirit that had Soul Shift 3, and so you could like recycle a lot of your cards.
I guess this mechanic would have been
This
a
one's
lot
not
more.
that great, though.
Yeah, it would be a lot more exciting if it put it into play. But
You'd be busted.
Well, yeah.
well, I
that,
mean,
Paul?
you'd be stuck on spirits, but
Well, I was gonna say, like, would this card even be good if it was when this card dies, return just a creature
To your hand?
to your hand?
would make it a little better.
with power, with casting cost 5. Or
Well, I
less.
mean, we have that card. It's called
Gravedigger?
Gravedigger.
Well,
It's one
comes
less
into
mana.
play.
that's when you cast it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like,
actually,
we have,
that's 2 less mana.
yeah, so we have a much better
Yeah,
card that
Gravedigger's a
does
2/2
something.
for 4, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have evasion. But this card's not great.
Yeah.
No.
Soul Shift is a neat ability. I maintain that
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
even,
it's-
even though it doesn't go to your, even though it only goes into your hand. But this card's not great.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's a sweet mechanic. It's too bad it's not better.
These guys, I think, are better than they look. This is the Silver Storm Samurai, 3/3 Fox Samurai for 4 white, 6 mana.
yikes.
They have Flash
Okay.
and Bushido 1. Bushido is when this creature blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of
I
turn.
thought this was a kind of cool mechanic. There's like 1 or 2 cards from this set that have Bushido that are actually decent.
And this is expensive.
They're mostly knights.
Again, I'm talking about in limited. This is expensive, but being able to like surprise and have
a
effectively
4/4.
4/4 blocker,
Yeah.
I think that's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I like
I mean, 4/4 kills a lot of things in this block.
They did like a Black Knight, White Knight sort of parallel in this set. It was just like white for a 2/2 with Bushido and then like a
Pro black.
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Instead of like First Strike.
There's like Hand of Cruelty and Hand of Glory or something.
yeah, I think
Okay.
So maybe we'll find some.
Ire of Kaminari is next. It is
Rawr.
an arcane instant for 3 and a red. Ire of Kaminari deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of arcane cards in your graveyard. So it doesn't have splice onto arcane. It is arcane, so you can splice things onto it, but you're already spending 4 mana to do this, and you have to have cast arcane stuff into your bin. This doesn't seem very good.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you just
so-
want a turn 15 Lava Axe.
So
I
this
think
does
it's a lot of work.
stone nothing if you just cast it, right?
Does it do 1?
Wait, does it count
I
itself?
think it counts itself.
Does it? I've never been clear on this.
Oh wait, it's on the stack. No.
Yeah, because like you
wait.
cast a spell, it goes onto the stack.
When does it check? Paul's gonna look this up.
Okay.
Judge.
I worry that it doesn't actually check itself.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
There's some cards that check themselves, which
Lest
makes
they
them
wreck
amazing.
themselves.
Yeah, like there's a card from the commander set that when it dies, you get a spirit for every creature in your graveyard, and you're like, that's okay, until you realize it counts itself.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because it dies, right? So it has gone to the graveyard first, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
like
pretty
spells when they're on the stack go to this weird non-space.
It's a nega zone.
I don't think this checks itself.
Is there a gatherer ruling?
I don't see anything.
Paul can't find anything.
Guessing not.
I'm guessing at least 4 people have commented on this already.
Actually, what's kind of interesting about it is there is actually quite a few people in the comments about this card talking about how that it is like in the format it was actually a stone cold bomb.
Really?
Really?
I mean, I guess if you have a lot of
Just
things-
because, for one thing, every additional it's an arcane spell itself, so every additional one does more damage than the one before.
Okay, yeah.
So if you got a couple of them, you're
Yeah,
in good
well.
position.
Like this.
And if you had any other arcane spells, you could get it up pretty quick.
I know that there was arcane spells flying around like mad, but this still seems like a lot of work.
Maybe if you were in like the
I mean-
blue-red arcane, like obviously I guess you'd be in the blue-red arcane deck if you take these.
I mean, it was a different time too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot of the creatures that I saw when I was drafting this on Miko were like 2 toughness, right?
Yeah,
So,
somebody says it's an instant. It can deal more damage than its casting cost to a creature or a player. Yeah, it only works in an arcane deck, but in an arcane deck, it's great.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
I
I
guess
guess-
if you can build around it,
no such thing as bad burn.
or if you're already in that deck and you get it late, sure.
There's some pretty bad.
There's some pretty bad burn.
Next up
Have you
is
read Death Spark?
definitely the most Cameron card we've seen so far.
More than
Toils of Night and Day.
Ooh.
2 and a blue, instant, arcane. Tap or untap target permanent, then tap or untap another target permanent.
It's what was the one from
Hidden
Gatecrash?
Strings.
Hidden Strings.
Seems all right. I mean, it's kind of like a tap your team.
It's like bad twiddle.
It's double twiddle.
Double twiddle
I wanna-
for 3 times the mana.
I want to spend 5 mana, splice a Glacial Ray onto that,
Yeah.
and
Ooh.
have like the aggro deck be like, all right, now I'm going to go for the Alpha Strike, and I'm like, hang on,
Yep.
tap that, kill that.
Yeah.
Next up, Traproot Kami, pretty annoying. It's a 0-star for a single green mana. It's a spirit.
Okay.
Defender. Its toughness is equal to the number of forests in play, and it has reach.
Oh, so it counts as your opponent's forests.
Yep. But more relevantly, it counts your forest. So it's
I need to remember this for the walls deck.
and it's a 1 mana spirit, so you can almost always soul shift it back.
Yeah. Wall of Roots that doesn't tap for mana. Where do I sign up?
What the?
What?
Wait.
Am I going insane? Okay.
Okay.
So our next card is this is messed up. Our next card is a Toils of Night and Day,
Wait, whoa, what?
and our next card after that is a Traproot Kami.
Did we just get a bug pack?
I've never
I
seen that before.
would like to submit a ticket through Jira.
I've never seen that either. Not only did you get 1 card as a dupe, you got 2 as a dupe.
Right beside each other. That's really weird.
That is really weird.
Huh.
Well, you saw it here on TTC
Well,
first.
see our previous comments on this card. Very strange. All right, next up, Call for Blood.
Happens when they change something.
4 and a black. Instant, arcane. I guess there is a lot of arcane spells. As an additional cost to play Call for Blood, sacrifice a creature. So 5 mana, sack a creature is better be good. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the sacrificed creature's power.
Who needs bone splitters anyway?
Yeah, when you could pay 5 times as much.
For
This doesn't seem great because
it's so bad.
because
Yeah.
you have to sack something. Like if you're trying to kill something scary,
Yeah, you have to.
then you have to sacrifice something powerful.
It's
Yeah.
removal, but it's like the worst removal I've ever seen.
It's like a very
It's
bad
got
2
really
for 1.
cool art though.
It's super cool art, but it's a
Yeah.
very bad 2 for 1.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Bone Splinters I'm okay with generally because it's in a
What kills
it's-
anything?
Also, right now it's in a format where there's scions running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's an instant.
and it's right.
Well,
that's
yeah,
true.
okay, it's
I
an
guess
instant.
Call for Blood is an instant, but that's like
Yeah,
the only thing it's got
but-
going
Yeah,
for
maybe,
it.
maybe you like sacrifice your best creature, debuff their creature, block it with your second best creature, and 3 for 1 yourself. Like living the dream.
Now you're talking my language.
All right.
Taraji's Grasp, 2 and a white for a sorcery arcane. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain life equal to its converted mana cost.
Yeah, like
Totally fine.
There was
Totally fine sideboard card.
This was really relevant in this was
Modern Masters 2?
yeah really relevant sideboard tech in Modern Masters 2015.
Right.
I mean, a disenchant you want to play, and a disenchant with slight upside.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like you blow away somebody's like all the Sunburst cards with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. The precursor golem.
Oh, right.
That's ooh.
yeah.
You only gain 5 because the CMC
Yeah.
of the
Yeah, but
tokens.
still.
But if you can get their precursor golem and their rusted relic,
Yeah. Yeah.
target precursor golem, copy it for all their kill all their golems, gain 10.
Yeah.
No, rusted relic's a 4-drop. 3-drop, 4-drop. Yeah, so you gain 9.
Yeah, that
Still,
sounds
though.
that sounds quite good.
All right. This is a weird one.
Oh,
Alex, this is sort of this seems like it's in your wheelhouse.
that's not good.
Crack the Earth, single red mana sorcery arcane. Each player sacrifices a permanent.
It's
is
almost
like-
land destruction.
It's almost Innocent Blood.
Is this land destruction if you play it on like turn 1?
This is positively garbage.
Okay.
Oh,
I
this
I think we joke about this card, but it's just so bad.
like the
Okay.
thing with like Innocent Blood, right? If you play it into your own empty board, right?
This
you
card's
just
real strong.
you just kill one of their creatures.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this, if you played it into an empty board, you have to sack a land.
Well, and it's also like late game they get to pick, and it's like, well, I'll bust something irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like an almost playable card that you can compare this to would be something like Raise.
Yeah. Wait. Hang on. Wait, I've got it. I've cracked it.
Have you cracked the Earth?
Discard Simian Spirit Guide.
No.
Right. Turn 1, they play their land.
Oh, you crack the Earth, then play your land.
Yeah. Use discard
Yeah.
Simian Spirit Guide. Play Crack the Earth.
You 2
Then
for
you
1
play
to
their land.
strip mine them.
Yes.
I love it. That's awful.
It's terrible. All right.
Then you
so
miss your
bad.
next land drop.
Next up, I'll be curious how the card reader technology deals with this one. This is Cunning Bandit. Hey,
Hey,
it worked
nailed
perfectly.
it.
All right.
Oh,
One
man, flip
red
cards.
for a 2/2 human warrior. That's it. But whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, you may put a key counter, KI, key, on Cunning Bandit. At the end of turn, if there are 2 or more key counters on Cunning Bandit, you may flip it. And then it becomes... Wait, let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. Okay.
Nice.
Then it becomes Azamuki, Treachery Incarnate, which is a 5/2 legendary spirit that says remove a key counter from Azamuki, Treachery
You have
Incarnate.
at least 2.
Gain control of target creature until end of turn.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Doesn't give it haste though, but still.
If there are 2 or more key counters, you may flip it.
Huh.
So
Oh,
you can just start banking key counters on the Cunning Bandit.
Then flip it
decide to
eventually.
flip it
Yeah.
when you want, and then
Steal
you
their
have
team.
instant speed, repeatable active treason.
It's weird
Yeah.
though
The,
because like,
the creature doesn't gain haste,
And
though.
it doesn't untap.
okay, so you have to like
Do this
EOT,
pre-combat or-
like no end
Yeah.
of their turn.
Oh, that's
swipe
way
it.
less busted than I thought, but that's still pretty cool.
It is cool.
That's-
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this-
That is now dropped from like, why would you print this to like, oh, that's actually pretty sweet, but
Yeah.
it's not as busted as I thought. It's
So
not literally active treason.
These flip cards were sort of the precursor to the other flip cards
The-
where they changed the direction.
Double
Yeah.
face cards.
Double face cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are flip cards and they flip. And in Innistrad, they are
Transform.
double-faced cards and they transform.
They
Yeah.
had to make that.
So
very
yeah,
clear.
instead of like flipping it through XY, you flip it through
Okay.
Z.
Yeah.
If they do another unset, they're gonna make a card that flips and transforms.
Oh, I
and
hope
then you
so.
stand on one end or something.
Yeah.
Or you just spin it. No, it has the tap and untap symbol on
I
it.
hope I hope they figure out a way to make a flip card that transforms into a split card. I don't know how you would do that because the split cards were never permanent.
Oh, that would be so weird.
I mean,
This-
well, actually, they already did the split card that one of the cards is a split card, that one of those cards is a split card.
Yeah, it just like
It just it
like
gold
a gold
ratios
ratio
Yeah.
in on itself. So yeah,
it's who, what, when, where, how.
yeah.
Right.
So it should. Yeah, you're right. They need to do a flip card that transforms.
Yep.
That'd be pretty sweet. All right, next up, Stream of Consciousness. It's 1 and a blue for an instant, arcane. Target player shuffles up to 4 target cards from his or her graveyard into his or her library. Gorgeous John Avon art here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That doesn't seem amazing.
No, it doesn't seem like a tremendously good effect.
Stop,
do
stop from decking yourself.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a similar card in Innistrad, which was Memory's Journey, but that had flashbacks,
Well, I had
so you
flashback
could
and
mill.
it shuffled everything.
No, it shuffled 3.
3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, but
get to
I
pick.
I actually really love. I wonder what the assignment looks like for the art for these cards, because like you look at Memory's Journey,
Yeah.
right, and it's like this effect where you're taking something from your graveyard and putting it back into your library. So what does that look like,
Spinal Brig.
right?
Into the brain, yeah.
Yeah, like you get a Gray Ogre art assignment,
Yeah.
right? And you can imagine what that looks like. But like Memory's Journey, what does that look like? And this one,
Stream of Consciousness.
Stream of Conscious.
All things
like-
return to their beginnings. The waters that spill across the Kamataki Falls flow to sea, only to be returned to her as the rain that joins the mighty river. Yeah, very nice. Next up, Unchecked Growth, which you should probably have looked at. 2 and a green. I mean,
That's a really cool looking
You
monster.
should get it
actually.
checked. 2 and a green, instant, arcane. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. If it is a spirit, it also gains trample until end of turn.
See, this monster looks like it would move upsettingly fast.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I think I've seen this in a Miyazaki film.
or like this seems like it would be a monster in a From Software game.
Oh wow.
This actually seems great.
Yeah,
We can at least see its weak point.
But like
Yeah.
the card, this card seems really good.
It's a
Yeah.
combat trick.
Like +4/+4 instant for 3 is fine. Like Titanic Growth is +4/+4 instant.
It's also an
but,
arcane spell.
Yeah, it's also arcane, but the added benefit of trample, combat tricks that give trample,
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
And that also buff toughness. There's a lot of red combat tricks that give boosts to power and trample, so your creature's going to die anyway. But this thing's just a beating.
yeah.
Yep.
Like you save your creature, remove theirs, and go to the dome a bit with it.
Yep.
All right,
it's
and
quite
our
dangerous.
rare is not a Jite,
What is it?
but it is
Oh,
Higure, the Still Wind.
Ninja.
3 blue for a 3/4 legendary human ninja, with ninjutsu for 2 blue.
This is a really cool mechanic.
It is.
So ninjutsu is you pay the ninjutsu cost and return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand, and then you put this card into play, tapped and attacking. And because the first creature was unblocked, this creature we're after blockers, so this one is already this one will be unblocked.
It's such a cool flavor thing, and usually the ninjutsu cost is way less than the card itself.
And I just love that, like, you're attacking with
surprise!
this guy, and hoo-ha! Turns out it was a ninja all along.
Yeah, that's the flavor.
Turns
of it.
into
It's
a
great.
log.
So it's like what's great is if you have like a low power, low cost flyer, and you're like attack with this flyer, and they can't block it, right? So like, okay, I can't block because it's a flyer, and then you go, haha, it was actually ninja.
I think there's a pauper deck that's like all ninjas and
Yeah,
flying men.
ninja bears.
Ninja
I
bears.
based my commander deck around, like, blue-black ninja bears.
Love
right?
it.
Like,
Ninja bears.
you know,
They-
like the shadow guys that turn into ninjas, and it's...
They printed a new ninjutsu card in one of the commander sets, I think.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a Seshiro student, or no, it's something Sakashima student.
Oh, no, that was from this.
Was
it's not
it?
a new card.
Reprint?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Sakashima Student's really good, real good.
Yeah, I thought this was like an
Nope.
original.
No, it's from this block.
Wow.
And yeah, Sakashima Student has it's a 2 blue for a 0/0 with ninjutsu for 1 blue. It's really cheap, and when it enters the battlefield, you can make it a copy of any other creature on the battlefield. But it's also a ninja.
I'm looking at this. It says it was Plane Chase 2012 edition.
Really?
Yeah.
I swore
That's
that
what I
this was-
thought.
This was
And-
new for Plane Chase.
Yeah, this was like an OG card for. See, I thought it was something like that.
Huh.
It wasn't Commander, but
Rad.
close.
Wow.
We were wrong. Okay.
Huh.
Apologies.
I thought, well, because I knew that it had been around before Commander because it had been in the Magic Online Cube for a while.
You know what?
Oh, that must have been
What I
me
really
too.
love about the Commander sets and the Plane Chase sets is they can print the most goofball cards
Yeah,
imaginable
they really can.
and bring back any mechanic they want.
Yeah.
And it's especially exciting to me as a Highlander player because that goes right into our catalog, and sometimes we get really cool, weirdo effects. I got blown out by Comeuppance like on Thursday.
Comeuppance. You
I was like,
you got your
it-
comeuppance.
that was one of those like,
Yeah.
what? It's like a fog, but it kills all the stuff that you just attacked with. It's like prevent. Yeah, there we go. It's like prevent all damage that would be dealt to you or planeswalkers you control this turn by sources you don't control. If damage from a creature source is prevented this way, it deals that much damage to that creature. So all their creatures kill themselves. And then, if damage from a non-creature source is prevented this way, Comeuppance deals that much damage to the source's controller. So if they dome you, they
Wow.
dome themselves. It's kind of cool.
3 and a
It's-
white instant. That's pretty sweet.
this was played in like hard control, and I was like, "Oh, I see. It's like Wrath of God, and
but only for your stuff.
but only for oh."
And that was a Commander 2014 original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get a copy of this card.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
So we should, before we start talking about Shadows of Innistrad, we need to quickly finish up talking about Higure the Still Wind.
Sorry,
Yes.
Because we haven't actually explained what he does. Let me put this back on the... So, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, so again, you ninjutsu him in, he's unblocked, he's going to deal combat damage to a player, you get to search your library for a ninja, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. And also, he has an ability for 2 mana to make target ninja unblockable this turn, thereby enabling other ninjutsu.
Or himself.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. You can make him unblockable, and then ninjutsu something else in, because you've just gone and ninjutsu, you've just gone and
Yeah.
searched for a ninja. It's a whole thing.
I dig it.
It's pretty sweet. Fantastic. All right.
it's a very slow but totally rad engine.
Ooh, excuse me.
Do all ninja have ninjutsu?
I think so.
No, not every single one.
Okay.
All the,
Just most
well,
of them?
like,
all the
I-
samurai have Bushido, though, don't they? Or no,
I could be
most
wrong
of them.
about that.
Wait. Ninjutsu are only on ninjas, but not all ninjas have ninjutsu. And it's the same with Bushido and samurai.
Yeah.
Bushido only appears on samurai cards, but not all samurais have Bushido.
I know. I think Maro has said that he really likes ninjutsu and would love
It's
to
sweet.
Oh, please
bring
bring
it
it back.
but it's called ninjutsu
It's-
and
It
it's
has
really
to-
tied
yeah.
to Kamigawa.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, since we're segueing to Shadows over Innistrad, they do have a card with a similar effect right now.
Really?
do.
that has been spoiled.
They do.
Oh, well, let's talk about it because
We're gonna be
we-
here all day because I have so many cards I want to talk about. But
well, let's because I want to make sure that we're talking about ones that have been officially spoiled, which
Oh.
I think some of those haven't been.
uh,
But if you go to the newest spoilers page, the first thing, it's funny. Yes, keep
so
scrolling.
starting here or
Because we talked about a bunch of these last time. Wait.
oh god.
The first thing that we want to talk about, because it was the thing that was spoiled just after we finished recording last week. We were just wrapping up the podcast. We're like, anything else spoiled at the GPs? No? All right. Thanks for listening. Avacyn got spoiled immediately after we went off air.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
New Avacyn, the Archangel.
Can I
Archangel
just
Avacyn.
say, like, when I saw this, I just typed with no punctuation in all caps. The fuck?
So she's a 4/4 with flash, flying, and vigilance for 3 white. So 4/4 flying, vigilance, 3 white. That's a Sarah Angel, which is
It's better than a Sarah Angel
which is
that's
classic.
got
Well,
flash.
that part classically a very, very good card.
Yeah.
Then it's got flash. Awesome. When Archangel Avacyn enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. So it can save your whole team
Yep.
from like a wrath effect or from like a combat. All your creatures gain indestructible, and bonus, you have a 4/4 flash flying. Like
Yep.
they make a bunch of attacks, you flash Avacyn in. Not only do you also have a 4/4 indestructible blocker, but you have all your other creatures. However, when a non-angel creature you control dies,
Oh no.
transform Archangel Avacyn at the beginning of the next upkeep. And
What does she turn into, Graham?
Well, she transforms into Avacyn the
Ooh.
Purifier,
Oh.
a 6/5 flying angel that when this creature transforms into Avacyn the Purifier, deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. Your creatures as well. Avacyn the Purifier does not care.
So this is a flavor slam dunk. It's also
Yeah.
unbelievably powerful.
Yeah. There's going to be
I kind of like that it's almost a non-bow. And that
Yeah.
it has this weird, like, complete duality. It's like, oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to save everything. No, I'm going to kill it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Avacyn the Purifier is red, and Avacyn, or Archangel Avacyn, is white. Now, some people were asking, and apparently this has actually been dealt with in an Uncharted Realms column now, but I haven't actually had a chance to read that yet. But my interpretation of the flavor, because some people were saying, well, the Liliana Planeswalker, her thing was her brother died, and so that's when another creature dies, it turns into Lily. She
Yeah.
flips into Liliana Planeswalker, and that's a very,
And I always
very-
forget to make a zombie when she does that.
that's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
Who is the person dying that makes Avacyn flip? And I said I didn't think it was like that. I didn't think it was a personal thing. I interpret it much more as her inability to save someone,
Yeah.
or her not someone specific, but her inability to be the protector she's designed to be.
Yeah.
Right, and she just sort of snaps.
Yeah.
Apparently, that may or may not be true because there's a story about it, but that was at least my initial interpretation.
In the story, spoilers, do you mind?
No, please.
Okay, story spoilers if you haven't read the story. Avacyn can hear everyone's prayers,
Wow, that must
like
be so
constantly,
noisy.
right? And it's what she's designed for, and she's
Yeah.
like, it's completely natural to her. But during the story, like she's rescuing like this kid who ran off into the woods, and like she brings the kid back to her mother or to his mother, and the mother just like slaps the kid and yells at him right in front of Avacyn.
What
And Avacyn is
the
like,
shit?
I hate these people so much, right? And like the entire time this is happening, there's like this whispering in the back of her head.
She's just starting to resent all the people of
Yeah.
Innistrad.
But like,
you
there's
don't appreciate
somebody-
this at all.
There's also somebody in there like poking away.
Interesting.
That's really creepy and weird.
Yeah, and yeah. So I don't think the flip has actually been dealt with yet in the story. But
There's something going
It's going
on.
to be
Yeah.
exciting.
Cool secret tech is if you are lucky enough to have 2 Avacyn,
In your limited pool.
you can, on your upkeep, when Avacyn Archangel transforms into Avacyn the Purifier, and that ability goes on the stack, you can then flash in your other Avacyn Archangel, which because they don't have the same name, the legendary rule doesn't apply. So you can have an Avacyn Archangel and an Avacyn the Purifier in play at the same time.
Okay.
And Archangel Avacyn's indestructible ability will apply, and when Avacyn the Purifier's 3 damage ability resolves, your creatures will live.
I'm going to lose to this in game 3 of the pre-release.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you're going to lose to it in game 1 of the pre-release.
Something's going to happen. Someone, like Kenji's going to open 2 of these. And
Yeah.
just, like,
how are you so good at this game?
game. Anyway, Avacyn's amazing.
I
Yeah.
have a flip card that I want to talk about.
I like the implication that you need some sort of like crazy, tricky shenanigans to win when you have 2 Avacyns
Yeah.
in your hand.
Yeah.
It's like if only I could combo with these 2 4/4 flyers with flash. And
6/5
vigilance.
flyers or whatever it is.
Ugh.
Yeah. So what did you want to talk about, Alex?
Oh man. So like starting at what I think are the official spoilers.
Yeah.
Era of Falkenroth.
Yeah, we talked about her last time.
Yeah.
She's
Man.
so aggressive. Okay.
So good.
You'll love this. I
Yeah.
mentioned this last time. Sorry if I'm repeating myself for the listeners, but turn 2, Era Falkenrath.
Yeah.
Right? Turn 3, discard Incorrigible Youths, paying its madness cost. Flip Era Falkenrath, hit for 7.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
This seems very
that's
aggressive.
a lot.
Yeah. I love that her bodice and gorget makes a bat.
Yeah, it's so cool.
What?
You didn't see that? The
negative space?
Oh my god!
The negative space. And she's got these 2 little beads
What?
hanging
Yeah.
down from her collar.
That I'm freaking out right now. That's fucked.
Isn't it wonderful?
I imagine you talked about what the hell is it called? Topplegeist already.
Actually, we didn't because it.
The best Suntail Hawk ever printed.
Okay, explain to me why Topplegeist is so good. Because I looked at
So-
it and went, "This looks interesting," but I don't know why it is actually.
So
that
I'm
good.
not like
This, by the way, Topplegeist was spoiled as part of the Blessed versus Cursed dual decks, which is why it's been spoiled.
So I'm not like the. There's a couple of people at YJ who are die-hard like Flying Men, Suntail Hawk, just 1/1 Flyers fans.
Okay.
And when this was spoiled, they just went apeshit because, like, there's a couple of they're kind of dirtily Highlander decks, but like the 1/1s for 1 with flying are cool, and this one is amazing because you play it. You tap one of their guys, so you
All your other little flying men
You've
get in.
de-aggroed them. You just like get in, but then later, it does that every turn.
Yeah.
It just Maze of Its. Well, it doesn't Maze of It, but it just like taps them down every turn. So you
Like-
have one of their blockers is just shut off every turn as you're trying to get in with an aggro deck.
So you're coming at this from a perspective of Highlander.
Yes.
How easy is it, do you think, to hit Delirium?
On turn 1?
No, not on
Not on turn 1.
I think it's it's not a cinch, but I think it's very possible because this is a format where you're playing a lot of powerful instants and sorceries. You're going to have tons of creatures that are probably going to get killed, and then fetches. So you could probably count to 4. I hope somebody starts playing tribal cards
just for Delirium.
just for Delirium. Yeah, because like you could play Nameless Inversion.
I was gonna say
and
Nameless
have
Inversion.
that count for 2.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bitter Blossom counts for 2 for Delirium.
Is the colorless sorceries and the colorless instants from Oath of the Gatewatch, they aren't Eldrazi instants,
No.
are they?
No, I don't think so.
Also, they wouldn't.
They
That's not a super
used
type
to,
anyway.
They used to have some tribal Eldrazi spells.
Like All Is Dust
Yeah.
is...
Right, but those aren't super types, so it doesn't matter.
There's
So,
also
yeah.
like other cards that I think help hit Delirium faster, like Tide Hollow Sculler, which is an artifact and a creature.
Oh
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So I don't think that Delirium is going to be that hard. I don't think you're going to hit it super early, but hitting it in Highlander I don't think is going to be terribly difficult.
Wait, legendary counts as a super type,
Ooh,
right?
does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, legendary is a card type.
A lot of good legendary creatures, I tell you what.
Isimaru is a legendary creature.
Doge of Konda
Yeah.
and Chad, Mini Chad,
Yeah, Kithian.
Yep.
Piker Chad.
Okay.
Wait, does he count as...
No.
No,
Oh,
he's not
okay,
a
I was
planeswalker.
like-
He's not a planeswalker.
Yeah,
That would be interesting.
that would be interesting. It count as 3 creature types or
Yeah.
3 card types. But yeah, there's some spice in this set. Like,
We'll jump back down to where oh yeah. We didn't get to talk about these guys last time either.
I really love the like flavor and art.
Abyssinian Missionaries. So this is a pretty sweet transform card. The Abyssinian Missionaries, they are 3 and a white for a, what are their stats?
It's a 3/3.
For a 3/3. So
Which
3 and
doesn't
white for
sound
3/3.
great,
So it's
but-
a white hill giant. A human cleric. At the beginning of your end step, if Abyssinian Missionaries is equipped, transform it. So that's actually quite a bit of setup. You have to have an
Yeah.
equipment, you have to draw it, and you have to equip it to the Abyssinian Missionaries. Luckily, a 3/3 for 4 is not the end of the world. It's not like you're stuck with like a complete like stinking clunker of a card until you get that working.
Yeah.
When you do get that working, they turn into
Lunarch Inquisitors.
the Lunarch Inquisitors. The missionaries turn into the Inquisitors.
They got some gear.
The Church of Avacyn is getting really
Militant.
militant and zealoty.
Can I just say, like, the contrasting flavor text on either side of this card, it starts with, "We come bearing the word of Avacyn and the Lunar Council." And the other side is, "We come bearing the tools of confession and absolution."
And so they turn in from a 3/3 into a 4/4 with the ability, when this creature transforms into Lunarch Inquisitors, you may exile
Oh, they
another target
kidnap
creature
someone.
until Lunarch Inquisitor leaves the battlefield.
I totally missed that
Get
line of
in
text.
the
They
bag.
kidnap someone.
They turn into a Fiend Hunter. Also, speaking of talking about the duality, if you look at the art for the missionaries briefly, again, for those of you watching the video, or you can look it up if you're listening.
I love
but
the
if you
contrast
look at the
here.
art for the missionaries, if we can flip back. Sorry, Paul. On the left, so they're standing there. On the left side of frame is this tall
Yeah, like the
cathedral.
basilica. Yeah.
And then
On the
when they
flip.
flip,
It's a guillotine.
it turns into a guillotine.
And, like, the staff of Avacyn that the character on the right has
Yeah.
turns into a giant axe.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
it's,
mean,
And there's, like, pillories in the back. Oh,
It's-
man.
yeah.
this is really cool.
I like this
Yeah.
a lot. You know what I want to play this card with? I want to play it with Grafted War Gear. Or, like, Lightning Greaves.
Yup.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So
would be
maybe
good.
this makes it into the equipment deck. I don't know if the deck's actually good, but it plays so many cool cards.
I'm gonna scroll up from there because I think there's
Let's
some more
see.
stuff.
Well, did you guys talk about Declaration in Stone?
Yep.
Yep.
But I'd love to hear your
yeah.
perspective on it. Actually,
I don't know it. Like, it seems like it's probably good in Highlander, but it's like, it's tough to assess because it polices up tokens pretty great.
yeah, we talked about
It's
that.
2 mana.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
repeat too much of what we said last time, but one of them I definitely want you to talk about that we did talk about last time is Relentless Dead. Because you have a deck, you have a series of decks that this basically just like gets right into immediately.
This fucking card. You talked about my favorite comment, didn't you? Ew, it can block.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Someone.
Here, wait, where is it?
Who was it who said
Was the
that?
Highlander Facebook group?
Maybe?
Yeah, someone was like, "Ooh, gross! It can block."
Yeah, I'm so
Because typically
so
cards like this wouldn't block.
stoked
Well,
for
here it
this
is on
card.
screen.
Like,
So it's a 2/2 for black with menace. How's that? How's a 2/2 zombie
That's
for black
pretty
with menace?
good. That's pretty good.
Like I'm reminded, as I said last time, I'm reminded if there was a 2/2 2/1 with shadow.
No, it's got there's a zombie that has Intimidate from
That's the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
So how about this? When it dies, you pay black, and if you do, you get it back to your hand.
Okay, yeah, no, that's also really good. And
Also, when it dies, because you can do this ability as well, you can pay X, and if you do, return another zombie creature with converted mana cost X to the battlefield.
I'm sorry, what?
To the battlefield.
Yeah, okay, so I'm stoked to play this in like mono black. I'm stoked to play it in possibly Aristocrats. The thing that I'm excited the most about with this set is that I just need them to print a few more playable 1 and 2 drop zombies, and then zombie tribal Highlander could be a real deck.
Like, I want
Because
to play this.
it's really close, but there's like just not enough good 1 drops. There's like the 2 drops are. There's plenty of really great lords. Like there's tons of lords that are amazing, but like you start off really strong with like Diregraph Ghoul and like Gravecrawler and Carnophage and stuff like that, and then
Right.
the list quality drops off like a stone, and you end up playing really bad like Mons Zombie Raider,
Yeah.
kind of cards. But I want some more good 1-drop zombies, 2-drop
Okay.
zombies. It's
What- I was going to ask, what does this... Don't say zombies. What does this combo well with in your sort of the Highlander list that you're looking at? Obviously, it combos with zombies.
Combos with zombies. Well, I mean, it's just like,
Like, what's a specific line of play you can see working out very well for you?
I mean, you're pretty happy to have this guy and Geralf's Messenger.
Yeah, Geralf's Messenger. I was going to say
After
you've
it dies
sacked
the
twice.
second time?
Yeah.
Or even after it dies the first time, you're just like...
So Geralf's Messenger, then this thing dies, or even you hit with it and then sack it for value, and then pay 4 and get this guy back to your hand and Geralf's Messenger back into play.
Yeah.
Geralf's Messenger was from previous Innistrad, and that's
That
black,
card's-
black, black for a 3/2 with Intimidate?
No.
Undying.
Undying.
Well, right,
And when it comes
Undying.
into play, it domes them for 2.
For 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did
They
I
lose 2 life when
Why
it
did I
comes
think
into
it was
play.
3. I don't remember Geralf's Messenger
Yeah.
very well, as it turns out.
I'm curious about from this set, Geralf's Masterpiece. Geralf's.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I may eventually have to make this list a like bug.
Because that guy is super cheap, right?
It's interesting.
And I need to see that card again, but yeah, it's 5 mana for a 7/7.
But it gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand.
Do we have confirmation that he made a Scob out of Grizzlebrand?
Out of Grizzlebrand.
I'm sorry, what?
Well,
Good.
it's a 7/7 flyer, and it's very big. People,
I mean, it's a good headcanon.
people are the supposition is that Geralf made a Scob zombie out of
He just found this dead
Grizzlebrand.
legendary demon. Is like, I'm gonna animate that.
Yeah, I can work with this.
It is his masterpiece.
You just see him like working it over with a pair of bolt cutters, just like stitching with this big like needle.
I did want to just quickly mention back to you're talking about before with Delirium. Legend is not a type.
Legendary does not count.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
At least,
I thought it was all super types.
yeah. I was checking like Tarmogoyf doesn't check Legend.
Oh, okay.
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 So
Basically-
I
I
guess
presume it would be using
I think
the
there's
same
8
list.
card
Right, that makes
types.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went over this last time.
Artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery, tribal.
8. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to 8. So you just need 4 of those.
So we've talked about these guys. Go up near the top. The new ones. Whoop. Hang on.
Those ones come out today. So
Thing in the ice. Thing
Yeah.
in the ice.
this card
This
makes
is-
me want to vomit.
What
It's
a great
such-
name and flavor, and look at this thing.
it's such a great control card.
Look at this.
It's-
Look, this boat. They went out to the Arctic. They found this thing in the ice. They're going to drag it back to town, and everything's going to be great.
Can
Yeah.
I just say I actually really love this card, and I also hate it because it's like just what blue needed: a 7/8 for 2.
So it's
Oh, and it also evacuates.
so it's a 2 mana, 1 to blue for an 0/4 defender, and it enters the battlefield with 4 ice counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, remove an ice counter.
Combos with instants and sorcery.
Then, if there are no ice counters on it, transform it. And what comes out of the ice?
Well,
Awoken Horror,
Ooh.
which is a 7/8 Kraken that, when it transforms into Awoken Horror, return all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands.
Yeah.
jeez.
So it bounces
like,
everything but itself.
Pretty
and
much.
like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
All you need to do is do what this deck wants to do.
So-
which
Cast
is
spells.
yeah, which is like play an 0/4 wall on turn
2.
2.
Yeah.
Right? Hold down the ground with it. And then just counter their junk and draw cards and counter their stuff
And
and,
then you have
kill
a
it
7/8.
and draw cards.
And then you get a 7/8 with haste, basically.
Yeah.
People-
That blows away their board.
I
And then
think
you
this might
just
be a legacy
keep-
deck
Yeah.
about to happen. People were talking about this finding its way into Counterburn.
I think. Oh, I really want this to make Modern Control a thing.
Yeah.
Because Modern has no control deck, but I don't think this does it because,
Well,
like,
we'll see.
Modern just plays a lot of value creatures.
This is
right?
gonna get played, I think.
Like, you evacuate all your opponent's, siege rhinos? That doesn't feel good.
No, but I don't know. You just counter them on the way back down.
You know what'd be funny, though?
What?
Is if you're facing another blue deck, and they deal with this with another card I really want to talk about. Just the Wind. Just the Wind, beautifully named. It's 1 and a blue, instant, return target creature to its owner's hand, with a madness cost of a single blue mana. So if you discard it voluntarily or otherwise, you can pay a single blue mana and you get an unsummon.
See, like,
It's just the wind, Alex.
I know. How nuts would this card be if it was unsummoned and then unsummoned for free with madness? That'd be too strong.
That would be better, yes. I mean,
yeah, but no.
Because there's
this
another
card's
card,
sweet.
the Ravenous Bloodseeker. That's a 1/3 for 1 and a red, Vampire Berserker. Discard a card and it gets +2/-2 until end of turn.
Damn.
So it's a 1/3 that you can turn into a 3/1, and if you discard just the wind, you can also get a blocker out of the way. It seems very sweet.
You know, I wonder if there might be enough new vampires to make vampire tribal a thing in Highlander as well.
Probably.
I
Because
guess.
that's another one that is like it's real close, but it's just missing cards.
No, you know what? Sorry, the thing in the ice doesn't work in Modern because Abrupt Decay exists.
Right.
What's the?
The one I was just talking about, Paul?
Yeah,
Ravenous Bloodseeker.
I'm not seeing that. It's part of the new set.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's on Mythic Spoiler in
Oh, yeah.
in the new spoilers. There it is.
Yeah.
Well, Cam, I mean, Tarmogoyf is still a thing, so.
Alex, I want to hear you talk about this card. I want to read
What's
because this has a brand new ability. This is the Bog Revenant.
So, like,
Tell us about Skulk because this is a new keyword.
this creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So, this
So
is
Farbog is a 1/3.
it's a 1/3 with lifelink. So, it's not terribly exciting, but I wonder if they're going to print a new what's the guy that he doesn't loot, he just draws cards. He's like an Ophidian. Only like there's a oh god damn it. Shadow Mage Infiltrator.
Oh yeah. With Skulk.
I could see that being a card
Yeah.
because you know, it's even better than Fear in some ways. Because your options are pretty bad, especially if it has, you know, enough toughness and power, because it's like they have to block it with something that's either going to trade or just die. So, like, this card, you know, just like 1/3 of lifelink is not that exciting, but there might be something that is able to get in and do something weird. Like, I would love to see a one something with Skulk and, like, it makes them discard every
Yeah.
time you hit with it. That'd be exciting.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
like
we'll
I
see.
mean, like traditionally, haven't these kinds of guys been useful? Like the unblockable, even 1 power guys. Like in M13, there was the Exalted deck
Yeah.
that had the guy that couldn't be blocked, and then that guy was also printed in a previous core set where it had a different role. Or no, it was in the Bloodthirst deck.
the Tormented Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1/1
Tormented
for 1.
Soul like worked in the
Can't be blocked,
Bloodthirst deck,
yeah.
and it worked in the Exalted deck.
I'll tell you what this mechanic is good with. Combat tricks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, attack, no blocks, then buff it.
Yeah.
Enoch Chuck.
This is sweet. Oh, what's up, Paul?
Well, I was just saying. I don't know if just the wind, obviously has the great connection with Bump in the Night. 'Cause Bump in the Night's
No,
flavor
no,
text says
no,
it's not just the wind.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, it
It's
is
not-
actually just the wind.
Yeah, really, actually, just the wind.
Yeah.
Speaking of references to previous cards, I want to talk about Reaper of Flight Moonsilver.
This makes me so happy.
So it's a 3/3 flying angel for 3 white.
This card makes me so happy.
And it has an interesting ability, which is if you have Delirium,
Okay.
which we talked about, which is you have to have 4 card types in your graveyard.
Yeah.
You may sacrifice another creature, and Reaper of Flight Moonsilver gets +2/+1 until end of turn.
That's
Let's-
pretty cool flavor, actually.
It's
Let's go way back in time.
Yeah,
Paul,
it's
can you
one of
call
my
up the
favorite cards.
Old school card, Fallen Angel.
Whoa!
could we bring up the legend art, please?
Yeah. So Fallen Angel it's a black angel card from Legends, you said?
Yeah, Legends.
Yeah. And it's
Oh,
3
wow.
black for a 3/3 flyer. Sacrifice a creature to give Fallen
What?
Angel +2/+1 until end of turn.
Holy crap.
So it's the same +2/+1 for sack a creature, but now it's a white angel and you have to have Delirium for it.
Yeah.
But just super cool
That's
reference.
really, really great
Yeah.
art on this card, by the
Yeah,
way.
this art made me feel funny when I was like 12.
You're like,
I don't know what's happening.
I don't understand.
Alex, you wanna tell us about this awesome lady?
Oh, I just like this card.
Because
It's like
super aggressive.
Hinterland Logger. 1 and a green for a 2/1. Human werewolf. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells are, it flips into a 4/2 with trample.
See, yeah. So
It's just like such a nice, clean card.
so the werewolf
Yeah.
ability is the same as it was in original Innistrad, which is At the beginning of of each upkeep, if no spells were cast in that previous turn, then you flip it. And it's a 2-drop, so if you're on the play, you go land, go, pass back to you, land, hinterland logger. And if they do not have a 2-drop play, then you have a 4/2 on turn 3 attacking with trample.
Yeah.
So like the only thing that gives me pause about this card is that there was a similar card, the 1-drop that flipped into a 3/2.
Oh, Ginger Snaps.
Yeah, Ginger Snaps.
Reckless Wave.
Reckless Wave, yeah.
She's good,
Yeah.
but like I've heard mixed
Well,
results.
she's amazing turn 1 and garbage to top
Yeah,
deck later
it's
on.
not great.
Right? Like, it's a 1-drop thing.
But I gotta
Like,
say, I love every part of the flavor for this creature. Like the
Yeah.
first art of just like, she seems awfully strong.
She just ripped that tree apart.
And the 2 parts of the flavor text, it's like, there's a forester, lives up in the highlands, tried to sell her one of my finest axes at a bargain, but she wasn't interested. Can't imagine why.
yeah.
And then on the flip side, it's like, she even had the audacity to criticize my wares as inferior. And she just like wipes out this tree with 1 swipe.
So, like, this is the card that takes the place of Galstaff Shepherd? Gastaff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the 2-drop.
Yeah, as the 2-drop in the werewolf deck. And, like, these are really good at 2.
Because,
Right, like
Gastaff
the-
Shepherd was... Yeah.
And they get harder and harder to flip at, like, 3 and 4. Right, but the payoff gets better. Right, like, at 3, there was the villagers, right,
Yeah.
that flipped into, like, a significantly larger creature.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, Gastaff Shepherd was bears. It's
Yeah.
2/2 for 1 and a green.
Bears that becomes
And
a
with the
grammar.
werewolf ability, it turns into
a 3/3.
a 3/3 with trample or just a 3/3?
Just a
Intimidate.
intimidate.
With intimidate, right.
That's not too
All
bad.
his poor sheepies.
I feel like 4 power is way more exciting.
Yeah.
And trample's also way more exciting.
Like, all his poor sheeps.
So I got...
But, like, these cards always ran me out of cards.
Yep.
Because I was always trying to be in the control deck, and
You're just
these
like,
guys
I gotta
just...
kill all these things. I gotta cast spells.
I can't even kill them. I just have to keep them from becoming even larger, right? As I'm still getting chiseled by, like, 2/2s.
So I got one more card I want to talk about before we get into the conspiracy theories, which we'll wrap
Okay.
up with. So the Elusive Tormentor. They've just done so much great stuff with flavor in this set.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said something with kind of, like, pseudo-ninjutsu.
What
Yeah.
a weird card this
So,
is.
Yeah.
It's a 4/4 for 2 black. That's actually great. Black doesn't usually get like a 4/4 for 4 with
Yeah,
no
not
downside.
really.
Just like a big old brick.
Vampire Wizard.
Well, I mean, like, they get 6 6s for 4
Yeah.
with clauses like...
With downsides.
Yeah,
Plus
with
it's
you
like,
can't
you
win
die,
the game.
you're dead, you
Yeah.
can't play this card, game over.
And this one has an ability for 1 and discard a card, which, as we know from Madness and Delirium, is usually good for you. Transform Elusive Tormentor, and it turns into Insidious Mist.
Which you can't kill.
So, Insidious Mist is a 0/1. It has hexproof and indestructible because it's mist. What are you going to do against it?
Yeah.
It can't block, and it can't be blocked. It's just mist. Whenever it attacks and isn't blocked, which it always is, that's just how it has to be templated, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, transform it, and it turns back into the 4/4. It turns back into the 4/4 vampire.
So, like, what I want to do with this is play it turn 5, declare a block with it, activate the ability.
But you can't block.
No, with the vampire stalker.
Oh, the first
Oh, okay.
side.
yeah,
Yeah.
the elusive tormentor.
Yeah.
With the first side, declare the block, flip it,
Ooh.
becomes indestructible,
Right.
crack in with it next turn, transform it back again, and just
Yeah, like,
and then feel good about myself having done 4 damage.
I really
and
love this
negated
card.
a bit of damage.
It's probably not going to get played in Highlander, but it's so cool.
It's a super
It's
cool
so
card.
cool.
It's really mana intensive.
Yeah, like it's just
But-
it's too much mana investment for like Highlander, but I feel like people are going to lose to this in Limited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're just going to fucking lose to it.
Well, it's so hard to get rid of. If it's
Yeah.
like, I do this to you, and you're like, well, in response, I just pay 1 mana and pitch a card, and oops, you can't kill it.
And all you have
Huzzah,
to do,
I missed.
all you have to do is have a card in hand and not tap out.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
this is going to be as hard to deal with as Pack Rat.
Ugh.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I mean, maybe this makes it into the the vampires list because it's a vampire. I mean, you're pretty happy if you can pitch Bloodghast to this.
Yeah.
There's not any other cards that are like that, but I don't know.
The modern vampire list makes me so happy. I wish
not
it was
looked at
better. Oh, it plays like Blood Artist and then the Calastria Highborn and like
Hot.
the guy with Landfall who comes back. You just mentioned
Bloodghast.
it. Bloodghast. And
Viscer's here.
yeah, Viscerous
It's
here.
just like the classic. Does it play red?
There have been variations, but it makes your Nocturnus worse.
Well,
All right. Signs pointing to Emrakul are getting stronger every day.
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
Paul, can you? I don't think it's on the site, but if you Google it, you can find the picture. Can you pull up the clue token? Because we've seen now what the clue tokens look like. All these things
I've
that
not
give you
seen them.
clue tokens. Yeah, it's a little medallion basically, right? Because they're a little artifact. They're a little artifact that you can pay to and sacrifice it to draw a card. So the clue token has this symbol on it that people are interpreting without too much of a stretch as a very, very stylized representation of Emrakul.
Yep.
The way that her sort of the top of her mass meets kind of in a point, not in a point, meets in a gap at the top of her body, and then the sort of curly Q tentacles at the bottom, and the way that her thing is shaped. Paul, there's an Emrakul card that actually has a front-on shot. It's a game day. That's the art.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean about the shape of her body, sort of like being round, coming to a gap,
What a scary monster.
and then the Wibblies at the bottom.
Yeah.
the Wibbly.
So there's the clue token.
The
So
flying
there's that.
spaghetti monsters come to Innistrad, maybe.
And there's also a card that was spoiled the other day, the Thraben Investigator,
Yeah. Mom Spaghetti.
which gives you, yeah, which have you seen this
Look,
card?
look at the
Maybe?
card.
So it gives you a clue token. It's a 1/2 for 1, and you get a clue. It's a squire, and it gets you a clue. But what is she investigating?
What is that stuff?
I mean,
What
like,
is it?
I
In-
like the upturned nose. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, this is
It looks like it could be
Emrakul's Blight.
Emrakul Blight.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Because as it was described in the Oath of the Gatewatch Fat Pack book, like Ulamog leaves the chalky dust,
yeah.
Kozilek leaves the like
Bismuth.
bismuth crystals, and Emrakul was supposed to have left like weird fleshy mass stuff.
Uh-oh.
So,
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
And I gotta say,
Mom spaghetti.
I'm like we said last time. I'm coming around on this.
Yeah.
Because the point you brought up, I'm actually pretty on board from a narrative perspective of Emrakul, or at least Emrakul's influence, being lured to Innistrad by Nahiri as revenge against Sorin.
yeah,
That's mega.
Yeah. I wasn't into the idea of just, and now Emrakul's on Innistrad because they're the big bad guys and they're just going plane to plane.
Yeah.
I appreciate, and you'll know this from listening to me on Sidewalk Slam, I appreciate this from a narrative perspective
Yeah.
because
Well,
it feels a lot more earned
You know
that
what?
way.
It actually reminds me a lot of like there was a storyline in Hellboy, I think, about these. I think they're like German scientists or something, like sending radio waves out into the cosmos and like beckoning down these like alien creatures from
Right.
like across space and time.
right.
You know, to like cut a deal with them and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I do dig that. That it's just like, you know what? Okay, how do I exact my revenge? I know.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing I can think of?
Well,
And-
it's like, what's the revenge? Well, I mean, Sorin was
I don't actually
know-
have any idea what their beef is.
Oh, well,
like the
Nahiri's from Zendikar.
Yeah.
And Sorin was like, hey, there's these Eldrazi. We need to trap them somewhere. So how about your place? How about we bring the Eldrazi and trap them on your house? And they did, and they effed it up in the process. And Nahiri is basically like, see how you like it, is the theory.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We know Nahiri is on Innistrad, and she's pissed off at Sorin.
yeah.
That's,
Okay.
And there's
Yeah.
all these little clues. To be fair, I would also love it if all these clues that really definitely look like Emrakul actually turn out to be a red herring and be
Yeah.
something totally different, that would also be kind of amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly coming around on it way more.
I'd be pretty
Yeah.
into it.
My headcanon is that all three of them, Emrakul, Kozilek, and Ulamog, all planned to go to Zendikar, but it is the Blind Eternities.
Yeah.
Emrakul got lost.
Yeah, should have taken the left at
Took a left turn at Albuquerque.
And Emrakul is like, I'm going to destroy all these Hadrons and
All these villagers
that's
and
something.
He drove.
werewolves. Sure.
Just a sec.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I did see
Might as well eat while I'm here.
in some online comments for this card, actually, for Three-Headed Investigator, I saw some people being, complaining, basically, that they're like, I don't want, we've been playing with Eldrazi, and we've had the 7-mana colorless creatures. I don't want that from Innistrad. I want Innistrad to be Innistrad.
Yep.
By all accounts, it is.
It is.
I have zero problem from a storyline perspective if they do all that stuff, storyline, and Innistrad is still Innistrad. And Shadows over Innistrad, the set still looks 100% like this, like a sequel to Innistrad. And maybe Eldritch Moon will be something different and interesting in its own way, and I'm super into that.
Maybe.
But it's clearly not going to just be Oath of the Gatewatch 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's patently not that. Do not worry that is what will happen.
Jer brought this up, and I agree with it. It's that, vampires and werewolves and zombies have been cards and tribes that we've had in Magic since the very beginning. And they didn't really fully exploit their horror valence until we got to Innistrad.
Yeah.
Right? So, to a large extent, in Magic design, the setting makes the card.
Yeah.
Right? It contextualizes the card. So now that we're on Innistrad, it has all this horror meaning. So that works for the Eldrazi too. Right? If the Eldrazi show up here, they're going to be viewed through the lens of Innistrad.
Well, yeah, they might not
Super
even be called
interesting.
Eldrazi. They might just be called, unspeakable thing
Well, you're
of
right,
horror
because
or something.
Zendikar is, they call internally, Adventure World.
Yeah.
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. And
Zendikar, and so you have the giant thing in Zendikar, it's the big boss. It's, hey everyone, let's all go and get the big thing.
Yeah.
And
Many
on-
whelps, left side.
Yeah, and on Innistrad, it's this insidious...
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
feeling
something
of dread and corruption.
More subtle, sort of like Yawgmoth, who
Yeah.
was never actually ever printed as a card.
Yeah.
But there's dozens that refer to him.
Yeah.
That's why I said
So maybe it is just the
Emrakul's
influence. It's
influence, even if not necessarily literal Emrakul.
what if it's like you say, it's like they're dealing with Emrakul's partial intrusion into the world, but not quite.
Yeah, she hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah, or maybe never does, never actually materializes as the full blown.
Or maybe she just
world destroying.
drifted by Innistrad.
Just
Or,
in the proximity and fucked it all up anyway.
Yeah, but there's probably a paper to be written about the way that Eldritch horror, Lovecraftian horror, is an outgrowth of Gothic horror, right? Where Gothic horror has all these themes about decrepit European aristocracy that's in fact deeply corrupt, and these hierarchies of social order are actually very parasitic, and you have these ancient tumbled down ruins that used to be the homes of wealthy families that are now just these backwater places, and that you can see in that the threads of the Eldritch horror, where it's not just the hierarchies of your social world that are corrupt and fallen down. It's the entire laws of the universe that are
Becomes
fundament-
literally corrupt.
that
more
are fundamentally
spaghetti, so-
against you, right? So maybe they're doing a similar thread where the Gothic horror tropes of Innistrad are now developing into a similar thing, right? With the expanded knowledge of the planes, whereas for us it was
So basically what we're
quantum
saying
theory.
is, for me anyway,
yeah,
initially the theory of, and then Emrakul goes to Innistrad sounded stupid. But if they earn it,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
And
And I
it
mean,
sounds it sounds like if that's happening, it sounds like they're earning it.
yeah, and I've we've met a lot of the writing staff at Wizards, and they're cool people and they're smart people.
Yeah.
So I kind of trust them with this one.
So that's a lot of new spoilers, and there will be a lot more to talk about.
We have so many cards.
There's so many new cards. What's up, Paul?
Well, there's something you guys haven't done yet.
I know, but we've been
Yeah.
been talking for so long.
Yeah.
There's some really, really cool stuff, and there's only going to be more.
Yeah.
So in the next couple episodes will be the Oath of the Gatewatch nicknames to give a farewell to OGW. But until then, a reminder that all of our podcasts are brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Please do check that out because it lets us do all the things that we do, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you so much, and until then, we will talk to you next time. That almost worked. Bye, everybody.
Toodles.